G'day. I just want to add something to the stuff I'm talking about around mindset in the last chapter of the ebook. And I just want to talk about this model, this ABC model for breaking down mindset, because I apply it then to mindset. I haven't seen that done before, but I think it definitely can be done. That's what I'm doing in the book. So it's a way of breaking down mindset, because often mindset is understood in too vague a way or in too magical a way, whereas it really can be understood as a philosophical or psychological process, especially a psychological process. So I take Albert Ellis's ABC model, which is a model from psychotherapy. It's to help people deal with pathological thinking and emotions and so on. And I flip it 180 and turn it into a tool for creating mindset. And part of that is the outcome of actually creating a good mindset so that you achieve your goals. Another part of that is enabling you just to understand mindset, to get your head around what it is so you can start making it for yourself. And so I've written this down. You can see here I've put the ABC model up here. The event, the belief and the consequences, which are typically the emotions or actions. And I've laid under that goal, mindset and actions or emotions. So that's a way of breaking down mindset according to the same model. You could actually flip goal and put goal over here and actions over here. You can actually play with this a bit flexibly. As I say, it's not it's me creatively applying the ABC model to understand mindset better, to break it down and make it simple for people so that they can actually do the work. So if you think about this, imagine that your goal is to start a successful business. Well, that helps you sort of determine what your actions and what your mindset are going to be, because it may be that you need to invest a bit of money to get that business happening. And let's say that's frightening. So, okay, there's an action here I need to take, and it's investing a certain amount of money in the business right now, and I'm feeling fear, and that's stopping me from doing it. That points to this issue around mindset. I've got a belief here like I'm going to go broke or something. So it's like in the ABC model. I ask, what's my belief? My belief is that I'm going to spend all my money, the business is not going to work, and I'm going to be broke. I'm going to be homeless or whatever, and then the mind starts to fly into all sorts of directions. So then it tells us that we need a different kind of thought that leads us forward. So what's the opposite of fear? Okay, courage, obviously, but breaking it down into this context, because it's about having to spend money. Okay, there's a general principle, a general belief that captures that. I have to be prepared to take courageous leaps and courageous risks if I want the outcome I'm looking for. If I want the really good outcome, I'm going to have to be prepared to take courageous risks. I need to spend money. Okay, that's a courageous risk I have to perform. So you see how it helps us to sort of break down mindset and understand it. Any two of these added together equals the other. So getting mindset and the action together equals the goal. And before, the mindset was wrong. I knew I had to perform this action. I determined what it was, but I hadn't clarified the mindset, so I wasn't achieving the goal. Once I clarify the mindset, put the two together and keep doing it, among all the other things I do, it equals the goal. But of course, knowing the goal and knowing the action helps me define what the mindset is that I need. As I say, any of these two can be added together, and I haven't thought of an example, so I don't want to jump into anything that's sort of too muddled, but imagine an example around dating. Once again, you're going to, let's say you're not taking action. You want to date successfully for a relationship and you're just not taking action. And you realise, you're quite well aware that you're afraid of making a fool of yourself and shaming yourself and embarrassing yourself and so on. So what you do is you start to work on the mindset first of all. You still haven't gotten over to action. The action's just not getting anywhere. But you want to date successfully, and you realise that you have to think about this differently, and you realise that you have to take an attitude like, well, maybe a cluster of things. It's okay for me to want to have a relationship, and I'm not a bad person. I'm a good person for somebody to be in a relationship with. There's some good beliefs, but also it's okay to make a fool of myself. Everybody gets embarrassed and scared, and I'm everybody. I'm one of everybody. So it's okay for me to take those risks. And it's actually probably not true. It won't be such a big deal if I do get it. Whatever I do won't be such a big deal. Okay, so there's a couple. It's okay for me to take risks. It's okay for me to mess up, and it's not a big deal. That's a positive mindset I'm developing there. And then suddenly, on a whim, I invite somebody on a date, whereas I couldn't do it before, because the goal is so clear to me now, but also the mindset is so clear to me now. That frees me up for the actions I need to take. So I take an action where I just step past my fear of embarrassment, my fear of shame and messing up, invite somebody on a date. And I keep that mindset up, so when I'm waiting for them to turn up and then I see them approaching, or however that happens, I'm enacting the mindset again. I'm reminding myself so that I relax. And even if I'm a bit nervous, it's quite fine. So, and of course then we can go into details, and like I help people, for example, design kind of micro sort of behaviours around that help. But that's the big picture essence. So I hope this helps. You can, as I'm saying, you break mindset down to these three things. Using something like this psychological theory really helps you to see that it's not this magical thing, and you get beyond just having a vague notion of mindset to a kind of a set of principles and practices and a model that you can really start applying and working on, so that you craft a really good mindset in yourself. This is about crafting. It's like being, it's like personal training, and you're trying to craft your fitness, and you're trying to craft your strength. Or it's like coaching in a sport, or it's like learning a musical instrument with a teacher. You're learning the craft, you're crafting yourself. So this is crafting the head and the heart. It's crafting the mindset so that your life starts to work well, because you've got it right up in here. So I think breaking it down with this model can be very helpful for doing that. You can then get into the details and actually craft them and consciously, intentionally create your mindset, your way of being in the world. Hope that helps.